We begin with that breaking news tonight. 3 months to the day after the mass shooting at Robb Elementary School, Uvalde CISD Police Chief Pete Arredondo is out.
Tonight, the district voted to fire Arredondo, who was in charge of the police response on the day 19 children and 2 teachers were murdered inside the school. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Quita Culpepper.
And I'm Brian Mays. Tonight's move from the Uvalde CISD School Board comes after months of outcries from parents who are calling for accountability and change.
KVUE senior reporter Tony Plahetsky has been following this story since the day the tragedy happened on May 24th. And Tony, this firing has been a long time coming.
It has been, and it's particularly significant, Brian and Quita, because this is marking the first time that a law enforcement official is being held accountable for the flawed response that day. As we know, dozens of officers stood in that hallway for 77 minutes. This is the video that we first brought you last month as the gunman was inside with victims. Again tonight, parents and loved ones spoke to the board, pleading with them to take action. Here is the moment that they learned that Arredondo would officially be fired.
Mr. Board President, I move that good cause exists to terminate the non-certified contract of Pete Arredondo effective immediately.
Hearing none, all in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Before this moment tonight, the Uvalde CISD School Board left the auditorium to talk about the termination behind closed doors, but others stayed behind and they came up to the board meeting microphone one by one to talk about the pain they have shared since May 24th.
We just want to fight for our children, and we want them to be remembered. We just want to stop being disappointed.
Change everything for our kids. Change the safety, the protocols, everything. And for those ones that need to get out, get out. Change.
I want to change. Enough is enough, and we need to change the gun laws to 23 so people that are young, they will not have to buy a gun.
We didn't lose these children for nothing. We have to have people that are power hosted, that are going to put the laws in place. This doesn't ever happen again.
Now, to this day, Arredondo denies that he was the incident commander on the day of the shooting. Tonight, he released a 17-page statement. His attorneys wrote, quote, "No blame should be placed on Chief Arredondo from this event. None of his decisions or actions demonstrate a failure to meet the accepted standards of conduct for law enforcement officers in similarly situated situations across school districts in Texas." So Brian and Quita, tonight, obviously parents of those families were happy about the firing of Chief Arredondo. But I've got to tell you, he also, according to his statement, that 17-page statement, could possibly be setting the stage for a lawsuit against the school district at some point in the future.
We'll certainly look into that. But Tony, I know a lot of people are asking this question tonight. What took the board so long to take action?
They're not saying. I mean, certainly there has been mounting pressure really for the past 3 months, beginning essentially after the first week of the shooting, with people calling for him to be fired. Of course, he was placed on administrative leave without pay back in June. But from what we're learning, apparently behind the scenes, there was some effort possibly at negotiations between the chief's attorney and also the school board. But apparently tonight, no agreement being reached with them firing him.
Is there any chance Arredondo or really any of the responding officers that day could face criminal charges?
There is. The district attorney in Uvalde County has said that that is something that she is considering doing. But again, as we've been saying over the past few weeks, experts say, who are familiar with Texas law, say that it could really be difficult to bring a charge against those police officers, including Chief Arredondo. By law, generally, police officers are not required as part of the law to do their job. Of course, they have a moral obligation and a sworn oath, but by law, there's nothing that really says you must act, according to legal experts we've been talking to now for many weeks.
It's a small step today, but a big step.
I think
for the family.
I think by their own words, they say that this will bring a measure of closure and allow them to feel some sense of security as well when school starts in Uvalde in the next couple of weeks.
All right, Tony, thank you very much for your reporting.
Thank you.
And Uvalde CISD heads back to class on September 6th. The district has already appointed an interim police chief to serve in place of Arredondo.
Uvalde CISD superintendent also plans to host a town hall to address security concerns before school begins on the 6th of September. The city of Uvalde is now working on creating a permanent memorial in the city's town square to honor the victims.